The evidence for failure of a low-fat diet goes back to as far as 1977, where the dietary guidelines then stated that of your total caloric intake, 50 to 60% should be carbs. What that meant was there were very little space for fats. It was a low-fat diet, but that then resulted in the introduction of the greatest wave of diabetes mankind had ever seen then. Now, at the height of low-fat mania, the Lyon Study was done. And what this did was it took patients and randomly assigned them to the American Heart Association, patients who already had heart attacks. From there, they put them in either a low-fat or a high-fat diet. Strangely enough, the patients on a high-fat diet, that is olive oil, avocados, eggs, they had a 75% decrease in heart-related disease and heart-related death. So, what does this say? That saturated fats did not lead to cardiovascular disease. More so, it was fueled by the French paradox, who ate a lot of saturated fats. And when you compare their incidence of death as compared to the US, it was much lower with regards to heart disease. So, if it's not being deposited in the heart, which would cause and result in heart disease, and as such, be deposited around the organs into different metabolic processes, and finally, superficially, which is around the tummy, because fat doesn't deposit outside first and then inside. It deposits inside first and then outside. If this is what's happening, then we know that saturated fats aren't causing heart disease and they are not the problem. As such, we then did further studies. All further studies were done like the 2013 Predimed study, which showed that saturated fats or the Mediterranean diet reduced the rate of heart disease, and a 2009 meta-analysis in New Zealand where they compared that there was no correlation to heart disease and saturated fats, and it even prevented strokes in some cases. Having said that, you can eat higher saturated fats, you know that you have to stay away from sugars. Stay healthy.